Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk about why I personally think it's not the smartest idea to use the trade the minis when you're trying to pass these prop firm challenges. So prop firm companies like TopStep or other companies like Apex Trader Funding. Um, this is just a quick video for why I personally think trading the micros might be better than trading the minis. Um, so first thing I want to go over is, you know, even if you're technically getting for me personally, even if you're getting $150,000 account or $100,000 account, it's still not for me personally worth the time trading the minis. Well, I wouldn't say the time necessarily, but it's not worth it trading the minis for me. And there's a couple of reasons, and I'll go over this really quickly. It's a lot better if you're trying to trade with 150,000. Then I might say trading the minis might be worth it because it's a really high amount of profit that you need to reach in order to pass. And so when it comes to that, you're kind of thinking, you can make a lot more money with the minis. But also the problem with the minis is that you can lose just as much and probably a lot faster than you can make it. So normally with me when I'm taking a challenges, and I would imagine for most people, they are taking the $50,000 account. So this mostly apply for people that are taking the smaller accounts, and why I think you shouldn't be trading the minis with a $50,000 account challenge. Okay. So, anyways, let's just go over it. So, why you shouldn't be trading it? The dangers of the minis is that they move, especially if you're trading the ES or the NQ, market open, they can move so quickly during the day. And because each tick is, costing you like, if for example on the ES, it's like what 12.50 for a tick. So, one tick and you're either up 12 quid or you're down 12 quid. So, you have to really think about that. And in most cases, when it comes to the market, you know, the way price moves, it's incredibly difficult to get a decent entry, and not only to get an entry that doesn't put you in drawdown, you know, unless you're extremely disciplined and you're trading very specific market conditions, and you know that could affect your psychology, which of course we'll get to in the second bullet point. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, small amounts of movement could easily lose you hundreds, and I mean hundreds. Like once a single bar move, a single point move could easily lose you, 50 quid easily. A couple more ticks down and you're down 100, 200 quid, which is just horrible for your psychology. Because, for example, with Top Step, you have a daily stop out limit of 1,000. So obviously, you won't lose your account, but it's still a stop out. And, taking a singular trade, especially if you're scalping like I scalp, taking a singular trade and being down 200, 300 quid at market open, it really messes with your psychology because now you have only what 700, 600 quid left to work with, and it's just not the nicest feeling to be in. And so that's the main point, the danger, the minis. Now we move on to the emotional aspects and the psychology of it. You know, taking a trade on the minis, taking a single trade and seeing your account drop 200, 300 quid within a couple of minutes, that can have a real impact and a really emotional toll on your psychology. And by then, you're not thinking clearly. As much as your strategy might say, hey, this is still a valid trade, but the fact that the market has pulled back so much on you, you know, you don't want to, it messes with you. You might close the trade early. And the reason why you close it is because you're thinking you're losing too much money. And, all of a sudden the candle's wicking on you, and you just want to get out of the trade before you lose more, even though it could have been a winning trade. Um, so, you got to think about stuff like that. It might mess with your psychology. You might not take a trade when you should be getting into the market because you're scared, if it goes wrong, you've already lost 300. What if you lose another 300 and now all of a sudden you're down 600? And before you know it, you're out of the game for the day at least. with TopStep. So there's that emotional aspect to it as well, which is just incredibly difficult. With the micros, you don't have the same you don't have the same issue with the drawdown. You can take more sensible trades. You can look at the market more objectively. You can say, wait, let me see. You can look at the structure of the market and you can be like, if I'm taking my trade, if I see a green candle, I'm taking my trade, I can hold my trade even if the market does pull back on me. You're not losing more than 10, 20 quid with the micros at least. So you can keep holding your trades, and it's just better for your psychology. Um, a few ticks, you're selling here, you see this entry, you're taking a sell here on the minis. This thing is just pushing down. You see it comes back up. That's already lost you a decent amount. That's like what, easily 50 quid. Um, it just messes with your psychology. So that's something you have to think about. So that's the emotional aspects and the psychology aspects. Um, as well with the rules, as I mentioned earlier, the rules on these trading platforms is the drawdown limit. There is a limit. This is on top step. This is the maximum amount of money you can lose overall before you pretty much lose your combine. um and there's also that daily loss that most people just don't want to hit, because it, it it messes with your psychology a lot. Sorry, I'm on the wrong that's for another video. I'll be doing different types of trading strategies, but yeah, but anyways, it messes with your psychology. We don't want to hit that daily max loss. We want to actually, trade really quickly and pass these challenges so we can get paid. Because at the end of the day, even when we do pass these challenges, it doesn't mean we're gonna get paid. There's still more stuff that we have to do. There's almost like another challenge that you have to complete, and that is the fact that you have to make 200 quid for 5 days in order to even get a payout from Top Step. So having just 2,000k in drawdown when a couple of ticks can lose you 200-300, it's just not worth it for me. And I know one of the biggest issues with trading the micros over the minis is the fact that the commissions aren't great. But at least for me, I had to re re retweak my strategy, and find different strategies for trying to trade with TopStep, because I only purchased 50k accounts and I only have 2k in drawdown. I don't really buy 100k or 150. I personally just don't think it's worth it for me. I'm a scalper. The odds of you passing these can be slim to none. Um, and paying this amount of money, on even a monthly basis, even though we are a good discount this month, um, it still might not be worth it. Even 100k is not that much different in terms of drawdown. It's just a grand different. I guess you could say that with 150k, you get 4.5 grand. But for me personally, I just don't think it's worth it. A couple of wrong trades could still easily use these accounts. And from what I can see, most people aren't necessarily passing these challenges for that very reason. And so that's why I personally think it is better to trade the micros, even though the commissions and fees can just be a bit of a headache. Um, so yeah, another issue, the odds of winning a trade, which I mentioned as well, when the market is, especially with the ES and NQ, these things they wick around so often. You know, they just choppy markets, especially market opens. It goes up all the way, then goes all the way down. If you don't get your entries correctly, and if you don't have a very specific strategy that you're trading, and you have a very specific rule that you're sticking to, it's incredibly difficult. Even if you are trading, say, market structure doesn't always respect you know market structure. So you buying at support doesn't mean the market will reverse at support. Even if you wait for confirmation at support, it does not mean that you could easily get that second candle give you a massive wick, and you've lost way too much money, affecting your psychology. And you close, even if you close, you could close a winning trade all early once again, because of the size issue and the fact that you can easily lose so much money when trading the minis. So the odds of making winning trades are super low. because it's very easy for you to close out even a winning trade because of the psychology aspect and because of the market just being really volatile and aggressive a lot of the most days. So why is trading the micros better for risk management for me? Like I said, because with the micros, one tick is only like what, sometimes $1.50. I think I'm not. I think it's, yeah, $1.50 on ES. So it eases your psychology a lot more. But if you're a scalper, obviously you have to be careful with taking too much trades because of issues with commissions. They can add up. And this is something I never really understood with futures. It's one of my, I guess, my biggest negatives of trading futures is the fact that the commissions rate on the micros is so much, even though the tick value is so much less. So it's a bit disheartening. I don't know why they do that. I guess they do want to make more money, but the fact that you can control your psychology a lot more with this, and you don't have to worry so much about losing so much money so easily, is for me the biggest payoff so far, at least. But there's also the negative with trading the micros, the fact that it could take you a lot longer even to get to your target, to get to that profit goal. Um, but for me, what I've also noticed is, especially when it comes to market open, even if you're trading the micros, because the market moves around so much, and I mean so much, you can get decent moves. You can easily make our 50 quid, even 100 quid sometimes, trading the micros, depending on the market condition. So, imagine doing that in the minis. It's incredibly difficult, and could put you in a really bad loop of repurchasing um, combines over and over and over and over again and thinking you can't trade, even though you just don't have enough room to work with. That's just the truth. And so, what about the commissions? Like I said, what about the fees and commission? That is just something you have to take into consideration. You have to think about, how many sides you're putting on, and how many trades you're taking, because commissions on the micros do add up for what they give back, more or less. So, anyways, that is it for this video. Just a quick video today. Why I personally think you shouldn't be trading the minis if you're trying to get a 50k account and you're trying to pass. Obviously, trade at your own discretion. This is a personal thing for you. I'm not a financial advisor. So do what you wish and what works best for you. But for me personally, the the odds of passing with market conditions, with volatility, um, with the fact that you can lose so easily trading the minis, for me just isn't worth it personally. Um, but yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye bye.